Hi everyone. So I think it was like, I don't know, a year ago when I thought that like I probably have POTS. Um because I was feeling nauseous. Like I've done an episode I think about that before. So like I'm out mowing um because Janice and Nadine are gone for another 5 days. And like between our two houses, there was a third house at one point, many, 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 many years ago, like decades probably. And Janice bought the house just to tear it down and turn the entire area into just like this huge grassy field thing. When Alicia and I moved into this house, like, 10, 11 years ago, whatever the fuck time it's been, I used to go and mow Janice's lawn all the time because I was like obsessed with mowing lawns. And ours, don't worry, there's a point to this. And ours isn't like really that big. So, like, hers is huge and so is her backyard. And I would just mow, not with a rider, just with a regular mower. It was fun. And then I stopped doing that like, I don't know, probably a year or so before the pandemic started, or maybe, yeah, no, it was probably a year before it started. I just didn't mow anymore because I was starting to experience nausea, and I didn't know at the time that I had that cyst that was growing inside me that was causing like issues. So like I had started getting so sick when I was like mowing her lawn, and I just couldn't do it anymore. So since they're gone and the grass is kind of tall and I don't know how to use her mower, her rider thing. I don't do those things. I only use what I know how to use, and that's a regular lawnmower. So I figured I would just mow that huge patch between the two houses because that's the most noticeable and it was getting pretty tall. And so I took an anti-nausea med, and then 20 minutes later I went out and I mowed our stuff, and then I got into her stuff and I took a break. I didn't feel like nauseous or that I was going to throw up. Just the usual like heart palpitations that I guess are common with POTS or whatever. And something weird happened. I just got suddenly so fatigued and I don't know, lethargic, whatever the word is. It was like I was trudging through quicksand trying to mow the grass. And didn't understand what was happening because, like, just for context, like, I've never had depression. I've never been somebody that just likes to lay around all day and like do nothing. My mind is always going. I have gotten 5, 6 hours of sleep, almost my entire adult life per night. And I still function just fine. And I don't know. And I've been rearranging the house. I'm moving all kinds of shit around. So it's not even that like I'm tired from that. And I'm not out of shape. So this just came on all of a sudden. And it was when I got about halfway done with that part and I took a couple of breaks, and I really regretted even starting that at that point, but it was the weirdest thing. Like, it just came on, and I am on here recording about it because that was fucking weird. And I'm trying to, as I'm mowing, I'm trying to figure out like, whoa, why is this so hard to like kind of move right now? And um, this doesn't make any sense. And like now I feel like all I want to do is just like go sit down or something. So in the back of my mind, I was like, is this something with POTS or something? Because I don't know why I'm so fatigued, um, and why it just came on all of a sudden while I was mowing. So when I got done, I came inside and I was like looking some stuff up. Sure as shit, it's part of POTS. So I found this. I was reading like a few different articles. I really like the Johns Hopkins medicine thingy website. So I'm just gonna read like what they have on here. I know this is not an educational podcast, but I don't know, just in case somebody's listening to this is your first episode. Um, and you've never heard of POTS or something before, I'm just going to read what I read. Wait, what? Read what I read? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. And I don't know if like you aren't sure if you have POTS. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm not trying to tell you like I'm just going to read the article. Um because I was fucking fascinated after this. So it says, oh, hold on. Hopefully you didn't hear that gross mouth sound. Um I will put the links in wherever I put stuff for this episode. So this article is POTS, a little known cause of extreme fatigue. Everyone knows what being tired feels like at the end of a long day, but some people experience fatigue so severe and so seemingly random, which is what this was, that it's hard to describe. If that sounds familiar, there could be more going on than daily stress. While there are many causes of fatigue, one of them is frequently missed and misdiagnosed, which is POTS. Physical medicine and neuromuscular specialist, I don't know how to say his name, answers questions about POTS and extreme fatigue as one of its symptoms. So here's some questions that the dude answers. When is fatigue considered extreme? There's no good criteria for assessing the level of fatigue. It depends on the person. However, most people know when their tiredness is more than a lack of sleep. Some of my patients remember the exact day they got hit with fatigue so overwhelming that they knew something was wrong. How would you describe fatigue associated with POTS? People with POTS experience fatigue differently. Many describe it as feeling beyond exhausted. It's as if your energy is completely depleted. The fatigue is probably hundreds of times worse than your worst flu, which for me, oh my god, yes, that's how it feels. Um, People with POTS may also have trouble concentrating and thinking straight. Doing simple tasks may feel like you've just run a marathon. This fatigue might come and go, hitting you without warning, daily, weekly, or less frequently. For some people, extreme fatigue lasts for days. Others may experience periodic attacks, and they have that in quotes. It can come on at any moment, even if you just woke up, and there's no amount of sleep or coffee that can make it go away. What is POTS and why does it cause fatigue? POTS is a group of symptoms resulting from dysfunction of the autonomic nervous system. This branch of the nervous system regulates functions we don't consciously control, like sweating and blood circulation. In people with POTS, more blood collects in the lower body when standing upright. The heart beats faster to pump it up to the brain, but with little success. The causes of POTS are unknown, but the problem is thought to lie in the communication breakdown between the brain and the cardiovascular system. POTS related fatigue is physical in nature, and the mechanism behind it isn't fully understood. It may have several causes, including your body working harder to move the blood. What are other symptoms of POTS besides the extreme fatigue? So there's dizziness when standing. I've had that ever since I was a child. I've talked about how like I would go to sit up, or not sit up, stand up. Like if I was in my room, I just would stand up from the floor because I like to sit on the floor a lot. And immediately dizzy, saw stars, and fell to my knees on a regular basis. And I never fucking told my parents, um, especially not my mother, because like what was she gonna do? Um, Nothing nice. She was not going to help me with this. And then nausea and vomiting. I experienced that. Lightheadedness and fainting. When I was younger, I think this happened more in my teens. And then kind of like, I don't know, went away because I don't faint anymore. Brain fog. Yes, I have like three different types of brain fog. I'm sure they're all different. Who knows? Muscle pain and cramps. Um, Eh, a little bit. Headaches, I get them once in a while, but not very often. Excessive sweating, yes. Oh, it's so gross. I thought I had like what is it called? Hydrochondriasis. I shouldn't have even attempted that. There's this like term for like excessive sweating that I thought like, oh, that's why I sweat so much. Not even knowing like all those years ago when I found this out that no, it was POTS. And then shakiness. I don't really experience that. And then some people feel as though their heart is beating really fast or skipping a beat. This is called heart palpitations. I have experienced this like all throughout my life. Like I can, oh my God, it's like somebody is like bouncing a basketball in my chest. And I never stopped to think about, I mean, I don't know. I just assumed everybody felt that way. And then is POTS more common in certain people? There's no established risk factors for POTS. However, it is known to run in families, so it could have a genetic component. Researchers have also established a link between POTS and Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. Um, and in parentheses, he has highly mobile joints. So if you have one of these conditions, you might also have the other. A big group of those diagnosed with POTS is young women and teens. However, this doesn't mean they're more likely to develop this condition. Okay, is there any other ones? Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so like when I read that part about Ehlers, shit, where'd it go? I have a EDS. I'll just say EDS because I have a hard time pronouncing that. Um, I've heard people talk about that now and again. Doesn't really sound like anything I have. um, or that affects me. And then I didn't even realize when I was listening, because most of these people I heard on podcasts talking about it, I didn't know there were like so many different kinds of EDS. So I looked that up. I was like, well, okay, if I have POTS, do I have, and by the way, I'm diagnosing myself. Not really diagnosing, but well, I'm not a doctor, but I trust myself and the internet more these days than fucking doctors, especially with what's going on lately. With like just in America. So I looked up Ehlers-Danlos and I didn't even know that they had a whole like website just for this. So let's see, when you go to the website, it's just what is EDS and then it gets right into it. And so I guess the most common is hypermobile EDS. So here's what I found on this website. It says joint hypermobility means that a person's joints have a greater range of motion than is expected or usual. Some people have joint hypermobility that does not cause them pain or other issues. However, some people with joint hypermobility also have joint instability. Joint instability occurs when the bones of a joint aren't held in place securely. This can lead to joint subluxations, dislocations, sprains, and other injuries. Joint instability can cause both acute and chronic pain and interfere with daily life. Um, I am so hypermobile. Like, it's so easy for my shoulders to dislocate. So easy. And it's so painful. And oh my God, the pain lasts for like a few days. And last time that happened, I was making the fucking bed. Like, I'm not even gonna explain. Like, I don't know how to I was putting the fitted sheet over like the farthest end of the corner, and so like I had to get on the bed to do it. It's a hard to explain, but I had to. How do I say this? Um, I don't know how to explain it, but I got it making the bed. And then hypermobility is observed throughout the body in most types of EDS, but hypermobility may be limited to the hands and the feet in some types. Although joint hypermobility is observed across all types of EDS, not everyone with a type of EDS has joint hypermobility. Um, and what else? As I saw, I didn't, where did I see that part? Oh, so I guess like most people have the hypermobile, and the distinguishing features are generalized joint hypermobility, the joint instability, and chronic pain. And I stopped when I read the chronic pain one. I was like, chronic pain? I've had pain every day for years. My back or my neck, or I saw that early onset. Um, oh, who's at the door? This is so unprofessional. I just want to make sure Alicia's not coming in. Oh shit, she is. Oh no, she's not. She's putting something away on the porch. Okay, anyways, sorry about. unprofessional. But the chronic pain, I never really associated that term with myself. And so like I stopped and I thought and I'm like, "Oh my God, I can't remember the last day or the last time that I wasn't in some sort of physical pain." Like I always thought to myself like other people get chronic pain or like maybe I'll get that when like I'm way older. And I've had chronic pain since like my early 30s is that's just, I don't think it, yeah, I mean once I hit my 30s it was like your body starts to go downhill. Um so and then the early onset Alzheimer's or not did I say Alzheimer's? I meant early onset arthritis. Oh my God, I hope I didn't say I don't know. My talking is starting to not work well. Um, I have arthritis and I use my hands for everything. I'm a writer. I constantly, like, I physically, I have to write. Oops. Um, like, I can't just start typing. It has to be writing. Oh, wait, hold on. Hopefully she goes away. Oh, she's leaving. Okay. Because I don't know if I can pause this thing. This ring camera is fucking awesome. Oh, whoops. Okay, so anyways, um, it's weird to live with like pain on a regular basis, and it's just so regular that like you kind of, I don't know, like I forget that I have it, or I don't think about it, or I do, and like it's just it's just normal for me to have pain. Um, and I refuse to go to what do you call those people? A chiropractor. I refuse to have somebody else other than my wife touch me. Like, that does not sound like a good time. I don't want to go there and have some stranger just touching me. I told Alicia that because, like, she helps, like, with my back and stuff, um, like, massages it so that the pain is, like, less intense or whatever. And I told her that if you find me a neurodivergent chiropractor, I'll start going to them because I feel bad that like she has to like do that. I don't know. Like she gives really good massages. She might as well be like a fucking masseuse or a chiropractor or something. And she's, she helps my like straighten my back out a little bit, like step on it and crack it and stuff. But anyways, like I would kind of like to go to a chiropractor, but I'm not going to do it unless, like, somehow I know that they're neurodivergent, and I don't think that's even going to be possible. It's not like when you go on Psychology Today and you're looking for a therapist, and, wait, what was I talking about? Oh, and then they say on the things that, like, they're good at or whatever, that they're, what is it, neurodiverse affirmative or neuro something affirmative to let people know. Some of them even have that they're neurodiverse themselves. And in my mind, I don't know, I feel like I would trust and feel more comfortable with somebody that's neurodiverse than isn't. And I don't know, it's just in my mind, that's how it's gotta be. That's the only time I'm gonna even, attempt to have some random person touching me. Um, so how weird is that? And so, like, now it's been a couple hours since, I've mowed, and I'm just so, like, I feel like I'm melting into my recliner, and I've not even taken any edibles. Um, Not that when I take them, I always feel like I'm melting, but sometimes I get the milligrams wrong and I take more than I intended to, and then I have to like deal with that shit. But I just wanted to get on here and do some story time about these two things, just in case you haven't like heard of some of this stuff. Like when I was researching POTS before, I must have glossed over the fatigue part. And I was just focused on, okay, now I know why I'm nauseous all the time, and why this happens and that happens. And then I got confirmation that way. And I think I just concluded my research because I had other things to move on to. So I thought it was kind of cool. But I would like to know when this is going to go away because I still have two more rooms in the house to do. and have to move shit around and stuff. And you know what's weird is like my body feeling just like ugh. And then my mind is like do 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 do. Like my mind is just like my mind and my body are not matching right now. It's weird. Um that's all I got in here to talk about. And I don't know how helpful this was. Maybe it is because I actually included medical stuff from like people. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Hopefully you were able to understand the majority of this episode. Um, is that all I really have to say? Oh shit, it's been 20 minutes. My God, my sense of time sucks. Okay, I guess I'm done. Thank you if you made it this far. And if you experience like extreme fatigue or it just comes on suddenly, um I always love to I like people are my special interest. So like I would love to hear like what were you doing? How long did it last for you? Like do you get this regularly? This fatigue thing? Does it last like beyond a day or something like that? Um I'd appreciate it if anybody could like leave comments or something. But anyways, thank you for listening. I haven't done this in a while, so I've got an Autism 101 course. That's just all a bunch of information put into like one thing if you wanted to like take a look at that. All of the links and stuff are in my wherever I put the description for this episode. And I'm on Instagram. I post some dumb shit there. Um well, I don't think it's dumb, but it's not really life changing. I'm on Substack if you like to read. There's a bunch of autistic people on Substack. They're very good writers. Um, oh, I have a mini course, like a mini course on the way that we think. Uh, that's all my mind can remember right now. Um, So I don't know. Maybe check those out if you care to. And thank you for listening and for the emails I get and the comments and stuff. I really do appreciate that very much. So thank you and goodbye.